I want to talk about these prints that are going to be at a show in a small gallery space called Backspace Gallery at NIU. And, it's the first gallery that I'm showing any work in. What a better time to introduce Pickle Astronaut. I want to do a recap on Pickle Astronaut. I was summoned for jury duty. I've never done that before, and I get in the courtroom, and there I see everyone, just like on TV. There is one person that I just can't take my eyes off of. It is this woman who is click-clacking every single word that everyone's saying, and I knew that this was a job, and I knew this was a person, but once I saw them, Pickle Astronaut is the phrase that was in my head for the entire time that I was there. And it didn't mean anything, and it wasn't gonna hurt anyone if I just blurted it out, Pickle Astronaut. All I know is that that person would have had to type it in, and that would have given me a smile, maybe one other person, maybe not, but that might even be funnier to me. The day goes on, and I'm still there, I'm still part of the jury, I'm sitting in the stands, and they finally call my name, and they're like, Thomas Bosco, you are excused. So I get up, and there's my moment. I walk directly past this woman who is typing everything. And the whole time I'm thinking, I just want this document that's gonna be stored away to have 2 words that read Pickle Astronaut. And just the idea gives me a smile still. But I didn't say it. And that's the moment. That is the Pickle Astronaut moment. For me, it's a moment where I could potentially inspire a smile, a thought, an idea, something positive, because that's important. As long as there were no negative repercussions of saying these things, just say it. And I had this moment, and it wasn't a regret, because I do not believe in those at all. I feel like you learn from everything that you do, even if it's not the decision you really ultimately wanted to do, you are still learning. That could not be more true today, because that has inspired these 3 guys, and maybe I wouldn't even be submitting something to the show. Maybe I wouldn't know all the people I know today because of Pickle Astronaut. This moment for me, and it could easily be for you, is the opportunity to give a compliment or tell a joke and share a thought or an idea, and that you don't do it because something's holding you back. It's similar to like a stage fright scenario. It's important to have this Pickle Astronaut in the back of my mind to remind me to do these things. Moving on to the art aspect of Pickle Astronaut. Now, I've been in art school for a really long time. I'm teaching students things about art, so creating a meaning for everything that I do in my work is very important to justify it. Through storytelling is really great, but also through process. Here are a few process videos of me creating this Pickle Astronaut series, and the first thing I want to say is that this is a monoprint, so there's only one unique series that is ever going to look like this. Normally with printmaking, you can reproduce multiple copies of the same thing, but it's very important to the message that I want to send that this Pickle Astronaut moment is something that only happens one time. I'm using a key block that's going to create very specific marks on here that are not as spontaneous as the green value that I'm using. What's important is that the value is unique to each one of the prints, and more importantly beyond that, I ended up using a roller that had green ink on it that I mixed. Each print, as it progresses, starts off in the darkest value, work its way to the mid value, and finally the lightest value using the same roller of ink. So I didn't have to recharge anything. I would take the ink and I would wipe it off of the plexiglass to give each one of these prints a different value. This is important because the ink is losing saturation over the 3 prints. I wanted to have this because that kind of tells a story on how Pickle Astronaut would really stick in my brain right after this happened, and I kept talking about it, and I was like, I wish I would have said this thing, but now that I've had this moment, it's going to inspire me to definitely make sure that it never happens again. As it starts, the idea is very saturated in my mind, and as it progresses, it's getting further away. just like Pickle Astronaut is getting further away. And finally, it's floating out in space because it's there and it exists in my mind. The impact that it's had on me for the last year and a half, it might have started off as a minor thing, but now I kind of reflect and look at this moment, and I'm so happy that out of all the words I could have chosen, it was Pickle Astronaut. So referring to moments like this is always fun and not sad. As a wrap-up, some of you are going to be seeing this video and not be going to the show, but some of you are going to follow the link that's under my show card at the gallery, and you're going to see this video, and this is one of a whole bunch of videos that I've done, so I'm glad you're here. And this is an important video to me because I started off printmaking my first few years of college, and to get back into it really kind of pumped me up and sparked more creativity. That's always a good thing. Put me around a lot of new people that are printmaking all around me, and that has just led to fun conversations that are happening. The reason I wanted to submit this work to the show is because it's this small, intimate moment that's happening, and in this case it's a woodcut, but the importance of process is so crucial to everything. And to be able to justify reasons for making these decisions is incredibly important, and to be able to talk about them and start the conversation rather than just throwing art on the wall and be like, here it is, you figure it out. I think that this conversation is so beneficial to have. In my art, I have always used playful imagery and storytelling to tackle meaningful thoughts and sometimes these heavy messages that are happening. And that's something that I carry on through my life in conversation and just the way that I am. So to be able to share that with you is important, and I'm happy to have this video format to contribute to the art that I'm making as well. So I hope that you got into Pickle Astronaut, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you next Tuesday.